Right, so I want to introduce two tools. One is more, fundamentally AI, like have AI in mind and build that. And one of my favorites, of course, you can choose whatever, because it's not free. You can use that for free, but if you want to use the more of the AI functionality, is a kind of price. And to be honest, if you want to use any of the AI, decent AI functionality, it's kind of need you pay because it's computational power. Okay, that is cursor. Okay, so you can see you got like a pricing. You can see all this pricing. You can get a hobby. You can sort of try things out. For normal developing, I think the pro version $20 is good enough. But you can sort of try this out. And if you just start learning, you're not a professional programmer, or if you don't write code extensively, you don't want that, that's okay, because there is an alternative. Because this like you can see, you can like using AI agent over that too. And of course, if you got like ChatGPT, you can use that agent's API and you put that here. Doesn't really matter, okay? You not necessarily need to buy this. It's just to give you a socket, okay? Doesn't really matter. But this is based on this open source AI code editor. Also, is claimed it's AI code editor. Yes, you can embed it with AI. It sort of give you a AI functionality. I think nowadays is kind of the must. Programmers nowadays like using AI to greatly help their work. And you know what? It's open source. So basically, I think the cursor is also built upon this because it's open source. It's called Visual Studio Code. I still remember, I use Visual Studio Code as well. Visual Studio. I use Visual Studio at the time to develop like Unity games. I developed tons of things, and at that time I teach students. I say like Visual Studio is like the full-fledged IDE, and this is like more like a code editor with a lot of extensions. And then you can use extension to make it more powerful. It's like a Lego, right? But nowadays it's just become like really vague. It doesn't really matter which one do you choose. And I remember at one time I also like used like JetBrains code like series of toolbox, and we got like a series editor. Like so for example, they got like a PyCharm as well as like WebStorm, something like that. But yeah, and nowadays since like every IDE editors, yeah, got extension, we got AI embedded functionality and all that. So it doesn't really matter as long as you pay for that certain AI. You got an API, you embedded that, you can make it work. And of course, I believe this right now, as I'm recording this video, it's bought by Microsoft, so as well as GitHub. So you can like go to GitHub. GitHub also got AI, not just ChatGPT. GitHub, like Cloud Sonnet, something like that, right? You got all the AI. You got this like GitHub is like Copilot, right? You can make that here, and of course, ChatGPT got like a Codex, something like that. You embed that inside, and then you can also use that. Okay, doesn't really matter which one you choose. Okay, because at the very beginning we won't be able to use too much, because if you use too much, you won't be able to handle that. So if there's a bug and AI can't fix it, or AI fix it wrong, or leave some potential like code that is not going to help you in the future, you're not going to be able to spot it, and you will make a project and put not only you but also the user, the client, at risk. Which I don't want you to have this really, really bad beginning. I want you to have a really great foundation, and then gradually increase, and become a better developer and a better entrepreneur. Okay, so you can use anything. I just use this two as a representation, this as the like original one, right? But also you can use in AI functionality if you want. Also, this is a kind of like wrapped solution that you can use. Okay, so download any of it, because the UI is nearly the same. It's just based on Visual Studio Code. It's just a pretty powerful editor that you can enable, you can adjust a lot of things. Okay, download, edit it, and follow.